Contrary to popular belief, I have a lot of respect and I admire the intelligence, the charisma, the articulation, the research, the talent of so many of our young soul brothers and sisters out here on the YouTube streets. It is amazing. Of course, social media or the internet has a positive as well as negative. It is a good thing that now we live in an environment where so many voices can be heard. Your choices is numerous. At the same time, on the flip side, because of these choices, because of these numerous ideas and beliefs, it brings to many who don't think too well anyway, it brings to them a lot of confusion. Now, of course, we know about the crack epidemic, but another problem we had prior to the crack epidemic was teenage pregnancy. And so you had a generation of children being raised by children. And then as we enter into the crack epidemic, we had the same thing going on, but also includes adults who were hooked on this drug crack. And so there's a generation of our babies who are the result of teenage pregnancy and the result of the misuse of drugs. This must be taken into the equation because now you have a group of people who were spawned from, and I say that respectfully, perhaps a better choice of words, but we have a group of people who are the descendants of crack, the descendants of children. That's what we have. So we have a generation of people who had no parents. They had no guidance at all. So I do admire our young brothers and sisters as they try to figure things out because they had no adults in their life. As many of them come from children, many of them come from the misuse of illegal drugs. So they are out here trying to find their way because they had no parents, the elders. And see, there's an old African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Not two people. It takes a village. It is the responsibility of the village. It is the responsibility of the society to raise children, but you don't see another person's child as yours. I got mine, you got yours. And so we have numerous ideas. There is no specific nothing. There is no consistency. This person does that and the other one doing something else. There is no consistency, and that is confusion. So I'm listening to this young lady. I don't think she's 30. I think she's 25 now. And she blocked me, which is fine because she don't like what I have to say. But she is Danica Marie, and she is the host of some type of relationship type blog. And I remember her from the Dr. Boyce Watkins platform, and I guess she was growing so popular, she decided to split from Dr. Boyce Watkins, and now she has a nice, almost 500,000 somewhere. She has a lot of listeners to her platform. A lot of listeners who directly or are indirectly influenced by adults who were children when they gave birth to these babies, a generation that come from the illegal use of drugs, in this case, crack. So they're trying to find their way. So when you listen to Danica, you can tell she is influenced by religious ideology, and religious ideology comes from men. And so when you hear her speak, it's all about the men, all about serving the man, all about putting the man on a pedestal. It's all about the men. And she does not really want too much from a man except a good penis, and he can smile and take care of her a little bit. That's all that is required. And there are those in the YouTube community that call her a pick-me-bee. And I told the young lady, and she got angry at me, the role that you have chosen is a disservice to your gender. You should not want to be a slave to a man because he has a penis, because he has a good job, because he can hit you from the back just right. And she makes excuses for men so they don't live up to what they are supposed to do in the relationship. As a male, as a man, this male should want resources, water, food, land for his woman. Danica Marie does not require her man to seek resources. He can just have a job working for white folks the rest of our existence, working for the Mexicans, working for the Chinese. She does not require much from her men, except he be nice, a play toy, somebody to be with, to snuggle with like a teddy bear. He's not required to provide, which means I must, as a male, I must get my woman resources. I must build schools for my children. I must provide electricity. I must provide gas. I must provide the necessities of life. A ding-a-ling in your backside does not feed you. A ding-a-ling in your backside does not put food on the table. It does not build schools. It does not build roads so that you can put your car that your man builds on that road. He's supposed to be a nation builder, a village builder. Danica Marie does not require too much from men. She makes excuses for the failure that these men are unable to achieve such goals. She wants to cuddle, and when they fall, kiss their little knee. Her mindset, young lady, that mindset, as your elder, as your brother, I'm telling you, this makes your men, this makes your boys weak. So they are not even competitive, even with the male immigrant that just crossed over the border. That's a shame. We get, as a group, we're not a people, but as a group, we get over $1 trillion out of this economy. Reparations is nice, but we don't need reparations. We get enough out of this economy to create our own schools. We can actually feed ourselves. Whatever we need, we can do. If your man really was a man, but he's not a man, and you don't require him to be a man. He makes no laws. He makes no policies. He controls no land, no resources. And you're fine with that as long as you can bend over and he can tap it from the backside. That's all you require. And the poor young lady, she seems to be confused. She talks all this pro-black stuff, and she colors her hair red and yellow and orange, and she dresses all flimsy, and sometimes she tries to dress like some kind of African, and then she just dressed like she going to some club 54 somewhere. Confusion. So we have a confused people going in all types of directions. No goal, no purpose. It's just like when you let animals out of the corral. They've never been free. They just walking around. What do I do now? Because they were used to being locked up in a corral all their life. Now what do I do? But one of the worst things that you can do, young lady, is to babysit and coddle your men. You're doing yourself, you're doing him, and you're doing we as a group that should graduate to become a people. It is a disservice. We're not in competition with the other people in this country. Dr. Claude Anderson said it's going to get to the point where we will be a permanent underclass. But I guess you don't care as long as your man, you can suck your man's penis and he can and hit it from the back, and y'all can drink beer and watch football. Now the other ladies that's talking about you, they are extremists also. There must be balance in this situation. But one thing is clear. We're not going to get nowhere to keep babysitting a man who needs to be a warrior at this moment in time. Let him grow up and be a man. Get the titty out his mouth.